Did you ever feel the government was coming in to tell people what to do and what not to do when it comes to that media?
Absolutely. So the government has a big role to play in how it lobbies the networks, and I'm sure the print organizations as well. And a lot of it has to do with just pressure. I remember getting calls after I would do stories. I was not a political reporter, but I can see how political interests thought they had political implications because some of this stuff reflected poorly on one government or another. And they would have a lobby effort that would include calling after a story of mine aired. One person from the White House would call the bureau chief in Washington where I worked. Another person would complain to the White House correspondent assigned from CBS News to the White House, because if you make the beat reporter uncomfortable, look, Sharyl's kind of encroaching on your territory, we don't like her reporting, maybe we're not going to play ball with you. And then someone else would call the evening news editorial folks up in New York, and it becomes a drumbeat where the bosses, they don't like getting those calls. Even if my boss once said to me when he called me after a great story, he kind of chuckled and said, oh, so-and-so from the White House called. And I said, well, what was their complaint? And he said, well, nothing really, they just didn't like the story. And I said, I wish you wouldn't take the calls. I wish you would tell them if they have something to complain about, put it in writing. And he said, oh, I kind of do that. But he didn't like getting the calls at night at his house from someone from the White House complaining about a story, even if the story was defensible. So there is that. And then I had 3 network executives when I was at an investigative reporting conference tell me the same thing that I know happens at CBS or was happening, that if they would rerun a story of mine, an investigative report, let's say the White House didn't like, on the morning show, then the morning show would be told by White House folks, you're not going to get the next Michelle Obama interview, and you won't be in line for this or that. And so they were not rerunning my pieces after Evening News would run them. I didn't learn this until later. And again, my answer to that is, if all the networks would say to the White House, well, we don't really care about the Michelle Obama interview, it's not newsy, you should be happy if we want to interview Michelle Obama, but you're putting her out on a topic we didn't ask you for, and we don't care if we're next in line. If they all did that, we would all be on even playing ground and wouldn't have to capitulate to the lobbying that they do, but they play ball. Okay, well, we want the next Michelle Obama interview, so therefore we won't run this story. And once you start letting the advertisers or political interests have the influence and they realize that, there's a whole industry. There are law firms and PR firms who advertise the fact that they can shape news or kill a story on a network.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.